Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Megablast. They're the blastiest, bounciest of the blast. Oh, by the way, me and Dad let come the kangaroos.
This is a first run review of the ASICS Megablast, and let me tell you, these shoes are fantastically fun and bouncy, and I had such an amazing run with these shoes. They are soft, responsive, energetic, low mass / lightweight. Fantastic. So in this video, I'm going to go through the specs of the shoe, upper, midsole, outsole. I'm going to tell you how I found them on my first run. I'm going to give you a quick overview of how they compare to the Sonic Blast, the Super Blast 2 and the Nova Blast. But all of this will be a superficial first run review. I will be making a more detailed review in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe for those. Thank you very much. So let's get into it.
Inside here it says Megablast.
First and foremost, this upper is really high quality. It's very light, it's very racy. It's reminiscent of a racing shoe. Now, it's not going to be as kind of stretchy as the Sonic Blast, which I have right here. This is when I had with an injured toe. This was much more accommodating for my injured toe. My toe has subsequently healed, and so the Megablast are totally fine now. But the Sonic Blast, much more comfortable. Same is true of the Super Blast and the Nova Blast. The Nova Blast more comfortable, and the Super Blast, the Super Blast also more comfortable in terms of the upper. But that's not to say that this upper is not comfortable. It's very comfortable and it's racy. It's a lightweight, racier upper. The upper is basically its signposts what this shoe is all about. It's a shoe. The Megablast is a shoe that can race. It can go fast. So you could take this into a race. Of course, it is an illegal shoe as far as stack height goes, but it has this racy upper because it's a racy shoe, but a very versatile shoe, as I'll get onto in a moment. The tongue is minimally padded, less so than the Super Blast, but sufficient. Similar to the Sonic Blast, sufficient. They do a really good job, ASICS, in giving just enough padding while keeping the tongue lightweight. You can see these serrated laces. They are fantastic. They give very, very good tie-up. We have a pretty substantial amount of padding around the collar of the shoe and the heel counter. So I'd say even more padding. Yeah, more padding than the Sonic Blast, surprisingly. So you can see the Sonic Blast, it's firm but thinly padded. This has more substantial padding, the Megablast does. So the Megablast more substantially padded than the Sonic Blast, but less so than the Super Blast maybe, or similar to the Super Blast. I'd say perhaps a bit less padding. Yeah, less padding than the Super Blast. But substantial padding. It's a very comfortable shoe. That's why it's going to also be a great option for long runs. And if you want to pick up the pace in a long run, this is going to be a great shoe. So great upper, great racy upper. Now this midsole, 100% FF Turbo squared, ASICS's bounciest foam to date, and it delivers. It delivers a ridiculous amount of bounce.
And it has no plate. It is pure FF Turbo squared, and it's got grip. ASICS grip, which is ASICS grip, and it's also the bounciest.
It's just fun. It puts a smile on your face when you run in this shoe. I was going out for a steady run, and I just got paces that I was not expecting for the effort, with my heart rate in the 150s. For me and my level of fitness on a very hot, very humid day, running at a 440 pace, that's 4 minutes and 40 seconds per kilometer pace in very hot, humid conditions with a pretty lowish heart rate in the 150s and low effort. It felt like a pretty, I wouldn't say easy. It was a steady run for sure, but the effort was not very hard. And yeah, that was a great run. And I was smiling. Still slightly injured toe, have some plantar fasciitis. And with these problems, this shoe kept a smile on my face. When I wanted to pick up the pace, it delivered. So wonderfully energetic midsole. No plate. And for that reason, it's kind of slightly wobblier, or actually it's substantially wobblier than the Sonic Blast, but I wouldn't say it's a wobbly shoe. It does have that softness. It's much softer than the Sonic Blast. So I haven't really taken it for easy runs, and I worry that there might be some chaos in the bounce. I had a problem with the Nova Blast, that the Nova Blast would sometimes cause irritation in my knees, just because of that bounce, that inconsistency of the bounce. And I don't know if that will be a problem in the Megablast. More testing will be required. But for steadier runs, for marathon pace runs, half marathon pace runs, and I did kind of slow down here and there for the single run that I took the shoes on. And they were very, very comfortable. But I did notice as I slowed down the pace a bit of kind of like, where's it going to bounce, and a bit of wobbliness. So they're not nearly as stable as the Super Blast 2, Nova Blast, or Sonic Blast, but they're not unstable. They have a big platform, and I would not say that they are unstable shoes. More testing is required. The outsole, the ASICS grip, fantastically grippy. I had absolutely no problem. I ran through some wet patches, and it had no problem whatsoever. Same thing with the Super Blast. I took the Super Blast out this week for a run in the rain, typhoon run. Very good grippy outsole. I can't say the same for the Nova Blast. I don't know what they did with this outsole, but this is very slippy, very slippery in the wet. So I don't trust these shoes in the wet at all. Nova Blast outsole also looks good, but I can't confirm that it is good in the rain as of yet. So running over some wet patches after the rain, these shoes did fantastically well. So great outsole, fantastically wonderful, energetic midsole, great upper, fun shoe, responsive shoe. The stack height of the shoe, we have 45 millimeter in the heel, and we have 37 millimeter in the forefoot, giving this shoe an 8 millimeter drop, which is the same drop as both the Super Blast 2 and the Sonic Blast. The Nova Blast, I think, is the same drop. They all have similar stack heights. This is 1 millimeter less stack than the Sonic Blast, but they all have substantial stack heights. The Nova Blast will be the Nova Blast. I have to check the stack height. I'll put it up here on the screen, Nova Blast. So this shoe is just 1 millimeter lower in stack than the Sonic Blast, but certainly still a max stack shoe. And a very, very comfortable shoe to run in. So the ride of the shoe is soft for me. I wouldn't say it's mushy in any way. Some of these shoes are mushy soft. This mushy soft rebound. It's not as soft as the Evo SL, but it's still soft. It's definitely soft. It's much softer than the Sonic Blast. Sonic Blast is very stiff, and still softer than the Super Blast, which is also quite stiff, and perhaps even softer than the Nova Blast. So a very soft, comfortable shoe. So that's my first impression. This shoe is incredibly lively and fun, energetic, great rebound, light, low mass shoe. Oh yes, the mass of this shoe is much lower than the Super Blast. My one shoe came out as 274 grams and the other 271 grams, whereas the Super Blast was 300 and 299. So we are talking a substantial reduction in mass, over 25 grams lighter in my men's US size 12.5 or 30 centimeters Japan, 11.5 UK shoes. We're talking over 25 grams lighter than the Super Blast 2. And the Super Blast 2 are lighter, lower mass than the Sonic Blast. So these shoes are really low mass, lightweight, and you can feel that. They feel racy, they feel fast. And that's part of the reason why these shoes are so fun. They pick up the pace so easily, they turn over so quickly, they bounce in such a lively manner. That's why they're such a happy shoe to run in. So I can see myself really falling in love with these shoes. They far exceeded my expectations, which were already very high, just because it was so fun. They were so fun to run in. So that's it. These shoes are mega awesome, mega fun, mega lively, fast, racy, versatile. I think they're going to turn out to be very versatile shoes, but I think they're going to be more geared towards faster paces, from steady to tempo. Really good for marathon and half marathon specific long runs. But I can see them being good for 10K pace as well, and good potential shoes if you want to do a training race. In fact, I am going to do a training race tomorrow, and I'm thinking about using these shoes for tomorrow's training race. Okay, first of all, please remember to like and subscribe the video for more content and for comparison videos between the Mega Blast, Super Blast, Sonic Blast, Nova Blast, all the blasts and more, the Evo SL. Lots of comparisons to come. So this shoe fits very well in the Blast series, and we're going to go into more detail about this in the future. But basically, daily trainer, dial and lock, faster pace daily trainer, very good for steady runs, very good for tempo runs. These are also good for steady and tempo runs, but less stable, livelier. So if you want a shoe that's capable of really getting into faster paces than this, we have that capability with this shoe. This shoe is slightly more locked in to a slightly slower pace, but stable lock-in. This is a shoe where you are more alive. If you want to pick up the pace further than where you're at, and you really want to give it and just make it come alive, this shoe is that. So this is bouncier, faster version of this, lighter version of this, racier version of this, but this is stable. And having a shoe that you can dial and lock and have it be stable and have it be locked into a pace is a very valuable tool, but it's very stiff. This is much softer. This is also comfortable upper. This is a slightly stiffer upper, but much more comfortable midsole. And this shoe is going to be that softer, kind of bouncier shoe. So they have very different ride profiles, but their use cases do have a lot of overlap, and both of them can do long runs very well. This can do a long run very well as well. This is specifically good for long runs, also very stable. But more in-depth comparisons with these shoes are to come. Very interesting family of shoes, and this is going to be replaced by the Super Blast 3 as of next March. Very interesting, but I can tell you this Mega Blast is a fantastic shoe. Fun shoe, lively shoe, bouncy shoe, lightweight, racy shoe. I had so much fun. I had such a blast running in this shoe. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for the next one.
Here, I love ASICS. It's Megablast.